Reports from Ukraine say Ukrainian forces have achieved their biggest breakthrough in the south of the country since the war began, bursting through the front lines and advancing rapidly along the Dnipro River Monday, threatening supply lines for thousands of Russian troops there. Kyiv gave no official confirmation of the gains, but Russian sources acknowledged that a Ukrainian tank offensive had advanced dozens of kilometers along the river's west bank, recapturing a number of villages along the way. Meanwhile, Ukrainian tank units fighting Russian forces in the eastern Donbas region continue to hold their line there, despite the Kremlin's attempts to illegally annex the territory around them. Associated Press correspondent Charles de Ledesma reports.
A Ukrainian T-64 Soviet-made tank fires while camouflaged in trees. Units have kept up patrols in their Russian-built tanks, some of which they say are captured from a Russian unit. The city of Bakhmut lies within the Ukrainian-controlled area in the Donetsk region, very close to the border with Luhansk, which remains entirely occupied by Moscow. An overwhelming majority of Bakhmut's civilian population have left the city that has come under regular shelling since June. Kiev's forces have made recent gains around Lyman, some 40 miles further north, on the back of a successful counter-offensive in recent weeks. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Norway's military said Monday it has posted soldiers to help guard major onshore oil and gas processing plants, part of a wider effort to boost security among suspicion that sabotage caused leaks in the Nord Stream gas pipelines last week. Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said Monday the widespread protests following the death in police custody of a young woman last month are not the actions of ordinary Iranians, and he accused the United States and Israel of planning the demonstrations. The protests, now in their third week, have been met with a crackdown by police and security forces. A tally of government statements compiled by the Associated Press gave a death toll of at least 14 people with 1,500 arrests, while rights groups say at least 130 are dead, with thousands arrested. Khamenei said the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini was a sad incident and that he was heartbroken. Iran's morality police arrested Amini in Tehran for allegedly not wearing the country's strict dress code, or not following the country's strict dress code, and she died in a hospital 3 days later after falling into a coma. The government had said she died of a heart attack. Her family rejected that account, saying Amini had no history of heart problems and that she was instead beaten. They called for accountability. And the U.S. state of Florida rescues of stranded residents continue as the death toll from Hurricane Ian last week rises to at least 68, most of those within the state. Associated Press correspondent Julie Walker reports.
Lyman, which it had been using as a transport and logistics hub.
Helicopters rescue residents like Sean McCaffrey from the Barrier Islands, cut off from the mainland.
I should have left. I shouldn't have stayed.
Flooding damage extending inland. People using boats to get around the streets of Northport. John Chihill using two of them to tow his family's possessions along with his daughter.
It's an act of God, you know. I mean, that's all you can do is pray and hope for a better day tomorrow.
Governor Ron DeSantis visiting Chihill's community.
I'm optimistic that things are going to bounce back quicker than people would normally think from a storm like this. It doesn't mean there aren't challenges. Of course there's challenges. It doesn't mean people aren't going to need help. We're going to need a lot of help. We're going to continue to provide that.
President Biden visits Florida Wednesday. I'm Julie Walker.
This year's Nobel Prize in Medicine has been awarded to a Swedish scientist for decoding the DNA of the Neanderthal, modern humans' closest extinct relative. At a news conference in Stockholm Monday, the Nobel organization said 67-year-old Svante Parbo is being honored for pioneering a new approach to studying human evolutionary history. The 67-year-old Swede overcame the extreme technical challenges of handling fragile ancient DNA samples to succeed in obtaining the genome sequence. The Nobel Prize Committee said in its statement that this was followed by his also discovery of another extinct human ancestor, the Denisova, entirely from genome data retrieved from a small finger bone. Repeating the hour's top news story, reports from Ukraine say forces there achieved their biggest breakthrough since the war began.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.